So out here in our garden, I've got a couple of chive plants growing, and I want to harvest the blossoms and make a chive blossom vinegar. Never actually tried it, but it looks delicious. It like turns into this like beautiful, potent pinkish purple vinegar, and then you can use it on salads to flavor sauteed veggies. Anyway, I'm really excited to harvest these. And we planted them in the garden last year, and I just grew them from seed. So they were very new. We didn't actually get the blossoms at all. So this year I'm excited to actually have the blossoms to do something with. I've also been throwing them as garnish in like our scrambled eggs, potato dishes. They're delicious. The blossoms have like this almost florally and oniony taste, and it's just amazing. It's subtle, yet just a really unique oniony flavor. So I'm gonna clip these and harvest them and then go make the vinegar. So rather than just pluck the blossom off there, I'll actually cut the stem that it's on. The stems that have the blossom are like more woody and thick, so you can still use it as like a garnish, but these other stems without the blossoms make a better garnish. So I'm going to clip this back and hopefully even get a second harvest out of them. But I'm really excited to try this. Okay, now I'm going to just put the blossoms in this bowl. Lots of bugs like to hide in these things, so we want to rinse them off a little bit before we infuse them in the vinegar. So while these dry out a little bit, I'm going to take the stems, just snip little pieces off of them. I can use this for garnish in any of our dishes. And I'm also actually going to try and put some of these in with the infused vinegar. I heard that can give it a little more of a stronger flavor. So I'll throw some in with the blossoms. Then we can use these on our dinners or breakfasts or lunch. They smell really good. So I'm going to use this white wine vinegar to infuse it. I've heard you can also use like a white balsamic, any kind of just white vinegar. I've heard that if you use like apple cider vinegar or the more colorful vinegars, it may yield a different taste and a different color, so I stuck with this white wine. I grabbed the organic. It has a little more of a yellow tint, but I think once we infuse these blossoms, it will still give me the very pink, potent color, and it's organic vinegar. So grabbed a bunch of these. They were actually cheaper than the regular white wine vinegar, so we're gonna go for it. I'm going to kind of speed up the drying process by throwing it in the salad spinner, and I figure that will also help get out any of the dirt and bugs that might still be in there. All right, I think they are ready to go. Okay, then we're just going to submerge these blossoms in the vinegar until it covers all of them. This could take a while. Here's where I'm going to add just a few little sprinkles of the stems to give it even more of a potent flavor. And you can kind of crush the blossoms a little bit in here. It helps release some of the flavor. And I think I'm gonna add a fermentation weight in here just to keep a lot of it submerged. Some of the stems are floating up, but I think that'll be okay. And I'm just using one of these wood canning lids. You don't want vinegar touching metal, so you can either put parchment paper underneath your metal lid, or I like to use these. They're pretty airtight. Then I've made a little tag that has what it is and the start date and the end date. And I always have to remember to do this. Otherwise I will forget what tinctures I'm making or vinegars or infusions. So I always add a little tag on there with when it's supposed to be done. And it's super cute. So I will stick this in my cool and dark herb cabinet. Any kind of cabinet that you have that isn't in direct light or gets too warm will be great. But I think that looks so pretty, and it'll take about 2 weeks to infuse. Then I'll check on it and see how potent it is, and then see if I want to be done at that point. But it really is that simple, and I will leave a recipe on my blog at tidbitsandcompany.com. You can print it out. If you keep like an herb binder or a recipe binder and you want to keep this in there, go ahead and head over to my blog and you can print out the instructions so that you have them on hand when you make this up.